So are you numbing your emotions? So I just come from a module from my course Limitless You, and we did talk about emotions and the fact that uh, we sometimes numb ourselves out of survival need. So let me explain. When we go through life as a child, we might have encountered, let's say, extreme situations where we had abusive parents, or circumstances where we had to hide our emotions. And because we've done that at some point of our lives, we kind of kept that in our energy, and we disconnected ourselves from our own emotions. Otherwise, the pain will be too much to cope. So, out of uh, coping, so that was a coping mechanism. So, in order to survive, we had to cut our connection to our emotions. And when that happens as a grown up, there is something inside us that feels off or empty or totally not, clicking, but we don't know what that is. Why? Because we have lost that connection to ourselves for some time ago, and we don't even know what it feels like to actually feel connected. What does it even mean, right? So, what to do when that happens to you, and how do you know you are numbing your emotions? If you spend a lot of time helping other people instead of looking after your own needs, this is a sign that you've been numbing yourself. If you put others before yourself and you have the need to be busy all the time, this is a sign that you've been numbing your emotions, that you're running from yourself. If you can't stay still and just enjoy the moment, then you've been numbing yourself. So that is happening with many people, but they don't know it. It's like this numbing mechanism that is plaguing a lot of people in our society, and yet we don't even know. And then that's why a lot of addictions are created, because it's helping to compensate without really helping. So if you identify that you've been numbing yourself because you can't really feel things, you can't even express your feelings to people, you can't even say I love you to someone, you can't even show love to someone that you appreciate and love, that is a sign that you've been numbing yourself. That is a sign that you've been running away from yourself. If you're not comfortable with emotions, if you're not comfortable with feeling, then again, it's a sign that you've been numbing yourself. So, what to do about it? So, someone asked me, how do I release that? How do I release the numbness? Well, can we? Well, numbness can't be released. Why? Because numbness is created because you've been carrying some heavy stuff in your energy for a long time. So you've been burdened by a lot of negative emotions, drama. So a lot of heavy stuff is kind of cluttering your space, your body, your. That's why some people almost like physically they tend to just have shoulders down because they feel the weight of life on them. So if you have been carrying that, so you're not going to feel much, because it's been going to be so much stuff there that before you can even feel yourself. So the first thing is to first understand what's happening to you. And then the second part is then starting a very thorough and deep healing process that is going to remove these heavy bags of stuff that are crushing you and waiting on you that created the numbness. So you see, so you don't really release numbness, you actually remove what is in your energy that feels heavy. It can be a drama, sorry, not drama, a trauma, because trauma can be quite dramatic. Um, so a trauma, some family stuff. So it's removing these things one by one. Addiction to guilt. It can be so many things. And once you start removing this one by one, then what's happening? You start feeling alive again. You start breathing. You start noticing things. You start feeling happier inside. So it's like you are being born again. You are awakening, right? And that is how you then remove, release the numbness. You don't really release it, you release the heavy emotions that are cluttering your space, that are preventing you from breathing, from feeling, from being alive. And once you remove that, then you feel alive again, then the numbness is no longer there. Does it make sense? Hi, Sherilyn. Long time no see. So this is something that I would like you to consider, is if this is uh, a situation that you've been in. Uh, when, I mean, for a long time, I was in that situation, but I didn't know. And it took me a lot of work to realize that this is what I was doing. Um, because when we are numbing ourselves, obviously we don't know we are numbing it, otherwise we would want to, break through this. So this is this takes an awareness, a level of awareness that you might not have before. And then if you find yourself being the one that rushes to help people at your detriment, so there is a really high likelihood, I would say 98.98%, I didn't want to say 99, that you are running away from yourself because you dedicate yourself to others, but you're totally not committed to yourself. Totally not. And this is really unhealthy. So, how does a healthy person look like, feel like, and behave like, right? So, someone who is not numbing themselves, herself, itself, himself. Anyway, so someone who is not in numbness mode is going to feel the emotion. It doesn't mean it's going to be triggered every 5 seconds, but it's going to not be afraid of saying I love you to someone. It's not going to say that he's scared, or she's not going to say that she's scared. It's being that, and that's what people call being vulnerable. Being vulnerable just means being honest with how you feel. And that is the true definition of being vulnerable. It's the honesty in your emotions, to yourself first and then to others. When you're honest with how you feel, then it doesn't scare you anymore to just feel them, these emotions, or just express them, right? So this is something I would encourage you to practice. Where do you feel uncomfortable expressing yourself, speaking how you feel about many things? And those who are doing this, they have no issues saying the good and the bad, right? And and it doesn't mean like being a whiner and complaining all the time and wanting people to save you. No, it just means that you're just sharing, by the way, I'm not feeling comfortable right now with this, or I feel that way towards you, for example. So this is that ability to express how you feel without falling into the whiny, complaining mode. So it's quite subtle, but I know you know what I'm talking about, and you will be able to make the difference because it comes from two different places. One comes from a place of being comfortable with who you are and empowerment, and the other one comes from a place of neediness and feeling like free falling and you can't cope. Of course, you can ask for help, but that's a different matter. I'm talking here about feeling your emotions. First, you need to feel your emotions with yourself. You need to be naked with your emotions, right? That's a good title. That might be a course, right? Be naked with your emotions. But the point is, this is very important to as a starting point, because if you're numbing yourself, you don't even know, what's what, and that is actually a big obstacle for intuition. You can't be intuitive, a very good intuitive person, if you can't feel yourself first. Because intuition is heightened senses, right? This is something I've been able to do recently. It's quite a change from what I used to be, where I was too afraid to say what I think and feel. Yes, congratulations. This is really good, Sherilyn. Because this is, and I know that it's has already had an impact on how you feel about yourself and therefore towards others. A lot of people will just keep their mouth shut because they're afraid of the consequences. But that's not healthy, because then it brings other issues, whether it's health related or emotionally, right? Check with yourself whether you are comfortable with expressing how you feel, whether you're comfortable with expressing what you think. Obviously, not in a rude manner. You know what I'm talking about. It's like some people can go from one extreme to another. No, it's not about that. It's just being at ease with yourself, which is what it's all about, and just being you. And when you are that way, then your life experience is altered and different. And that's what is going to create a different quality of life for yourself. And when I mean quality of life, it doesn't mean living in a five-star hotel, even though you can. It means living life feeling free, feeling not constrained by what people are going to say or think, because you're just living the life that you want. And that's what matters.
Make sure to subscribe to my channel, share, like and put comment under the video. Bye and happy manifesting!